Who is this?
Welcome, Vikings fans. This is the FullSkol podcast.
Let's go!
FullSkol podcast. Welcome right here. Welcome. Peter being Steppin.
Gotta get the big picture here. The big picture.
Victory horns.
Okay. So they're very uncomfortable with the headset. They're right here.
Let's get grenaded. Let's get grenaded in here. Let's get grenaded.
Going with the
Let's
swaggy
get
hat.
grenaded in here.
And of course the 69 until we lose for sure. We're going that way.
Well, I better keep these on because I'm going to be using my computer.
Yeah.
Oh, another 3-0, baby.
Here we go.
Undefeated. I see the media has flipped quite substantially. Very nice cup you have there, sir.
Thank you. A little beverage of choice tonight.
I was wondering if you were going to get that package. You didn't say anything.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
No.
I don't remember.
Saturday. I think I got it Saturday. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah.
Check out the FullSkol Outdoors podcast. There's the new swag.
That's the other podcast.
Those are kind of sick, dude.
Hunting and fishing and whatever, anything outdoors. Yeah, you'll find me there. But anyways, this is our Vikings podcast. Two lifelong Vikings fans full of hurt and denial and hope and
heartache and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, exactamundo. But yeah, I was saying the media has turned because while it's going, I was like, after that win against Houston, I was like, dude, if we don't climb the power rankings, like I'm burning down a Target, dude. Like this is
you're going straight Floyd on them.
Ridiculous, dude. It's just and then I see. Well, I'm just gonna. So then Stephen A. Right. But here I'm just gonna play this right now. What happened? Oh, I lose my mouse too. Oh, that's what's been clicking in and off on my computer. So we will watch these together.
What's going on, big time? How are you?
Oh, good, bro. If you know I'm coming on the show every Monday, man, how can you start your shows and talk about your shows and not talk about the purple and what they're doing?
You tell them.
Now,
why should I? Why should I?
Why should you? Because they're the best team in
that's the kind of attitude we're gonna have. Okay,
because you forgetting who your quarterback is. We talk about Sam Darnold, okay? You can bring up what we've seen over the first 3 games. You giving me 3 games, I can give you 6 years of ineptitude on his part before these 3 games. Right. What's the issue?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Top 2, they top 3. Give me number 2 on the list, please. Bam! The Minnesota Vikings. Look, y'all.
Wow.
Sam Darnold. I got to give the man love. I ain't telling you I'm going to do it in a couple of weeks because I know what I saw over the previous 6 years. But thus far, you see this brother flinging the football. You see Kevin O'Connell, the way that he's coaching this team. You've seen that defense in Minnesota. I got to give love and respect where it's due. We know Jefferson is that dude. They don't even have Addison and those boys back. Watch the Minnesota Vikings. I got to give credit where credit is due. They top 2.
Yes, sir. I like how CC fired back at it. Shut up, boy.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's how we're gonna do it today, huh? Right. That's how it's gonna be, huh?
Okay, so you look at the last 6 years, but he's never, and I saw this again today. KOC is the difference. KOC and this system he is the difference. Sam Darnold has never been in a winning situation. He goes to the Jets, he's just thrown to the Wolves, terrible team. Panthers, terrible team. Did I send you that clip of Bill Belichick on Pat McAfee? Did you see that one? Where he talks about like the surprise team is the Minnesota Vikings, and he's like, and for him, this is sustainable. Like they're deep playoff Super Bowl potential candidates because of what they're doing. He's like, everybody has loved Sam Darnold except for the Jets, which what he said, because I think that was kind of more of a shot at Bill Belichick's history with the Jets. But he goes on to say, like, dude, what he's doing, I mean, the arm strength was always there, all of these things. And so it's the system. It's KOC. It's KOC.
Yeah. Well, and I 100% agree. And like we have been saying all last season, I mean, since he got on board, pretty much was in KOC we trust. I mean,
yes.
I'm gonna, if I ever go to the game, I got a bunch of signs I need to make. I want to make a big dollar bill or whatever, and just have KOC purple dollar bills, KOC's face on it, underneath, and KOC we trust.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean,
Bank Stadium on the other side, like Capitol Building. Yeah, I mean,
we need to talk about the bank too. That place was insane.
Oh, dude, yeah, 12th man for sure. What they call it? Like, it was super loud. I saw a video where the coaches were like, I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
I was like, what was that? And we're like standing
right next to each other. Yeah, Could you imagine, dude? I mean, like
so
fever
loud.
pitch. Yeah,
so loud. Yeah, just so crazy. But it's interesting. I've watched a bunch of different videos and different power rankings, and people kind of have them all over the map. Some people have, like, there was one, and I'm sure a lot of this is just rage bait, clickbait, they want people to be like, that's the dumbest list I've ever seen. But I've seen some lists that had the Packers ahead of us.
Yeah, like, I was just going to pull that one up too. Yeah,
we're 3-0.
Yeah,
they're 2-1. But who have they beat?
Yeah,
and I mean, last week they blew them out. They had a blowout last week, so I'll give them that.
Who have they played?
We have blowouts against good teams.
Yeah,
and San Francisco, while not a blowout, was a fumble away from being a blowout and $400.
Yeah, that was freaking, but that was in Hando. So yeah, I've seen us as high as 3, 4, but Pro Football Talk, and I screenshotted it, has us at 7 behind. Okay, the Bills, Kansas City. Again, Kansas City now, they don't seem like the juggernaut, but they struggled last year too, and then they went on to win the title. Kansas City, of course, we don't even talk about the refs and all that kind of stuff. That's whatever. We won't see them until the Super Bowl, which, whoever gets there will be there. But you got the Bills and the Kansas City, and then they got the Lions at 2-1. The Steelers are 3-0, the Eagles are 3-0, and then Green Bay at 6, and the Vikings at 7. Are you kidding me? They have us as the third best team in the North. That's insane, dude.
I think they're doing that just to get clicks, dude. To like, people are gonna complain,
think
and
so?
they're gonna, I mean, it has to be. I mean, I saw Florio.
They're not just straight idiots.
Yeah, even Florio put the Packers above the Vikings, but he explained it as a lifelong Vikings fan. He's just like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it out loud. I don't want to, like, he didn't say jinx it, but he's just like, I've been hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely a little PTSD there, yeah.
And I can't disagree with him. Like, I love seeing the media finally flip, and then quickly Stephen A. flipped, because that was like Monday morning. That was with CC. That other one today, that was today. And so in 2 days, Chris Carter bullied him into changing.
In his mind, and going on national television. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, and I'll give him. I hear the criticism of Sam Darnold, and I get that, but he's never been in a winning system. He's never been. I mean, look what KOC did with Kirk Cousins. He totally changed his philosophy on, putting the ball downfield and stuff like that. And he fought him constantly. We talked about that last week. And what is it like for KOC to actually have a quarterback that is willing to throw the ball and make the plays that KOC wants him to play, and not have to talk him into letting the ball go? Even last year before Kirk went down, he was doing that. His numbers weren't amazing because he was starting to loosen up a little bit. Like, okay, this is an opportunity ball, is what KOC. You have not heard KOC say one time it's an opportunity ball, because he does not have to convince Sam Darnold to throw the ball. Sam Darnold's got a cannon for an arm, by the way, an absolute cannon for an arm. But he doesn't have to convince him to throw the ball deep. Sam Darnold's like, Justin Jefferson's the best player on the team, best wide receiver in the league, and I get to throw the ball to him. Dude, I'm going to try to find him as much as I possibly can. So, yeah, I mean,
he's got so many weapons, and like, we had our preseason picks or whatever. And if anyone wants to go back and listen to that, you're going to have to go find the FullSkol Outdoors podcast. on the FullSkol episode. That's audio only. Find anywhere podcasts are found. We didn't start putting those up on YouTube until like last week. But anyways, yeah. So and and I was cautious because nobody knew.
Nobody. Yeah,
you're
right.
Very few people that was expecting this kind of production out of Sam Darnold. So I'm just like keeping it real, like. And I said, I don't know. What I said is like, we look really good on paper, and the only really question mark is Sam Darnold. Like is he going to be serviceable? Well, he's been more than serviceable. And I get you can bring up his pass on, but you're like, it's a system. You can say whatever you want to say, but your power rankings aren't based on what might be. What could be. Your power rankings
or history
on
past
what
history.
is happening right now.
Right
now. To this point.
Yeah.
There's not many weaknesses in this Vikings team. Like it's very good. And it's weird because they'll kind of say that they might dog, or maybe not dog, but not give full credit to the Vikings. But then when they break it down kind of piece by piece, they do it anyways.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and then Beeflow's defense and his schemes, and when he had the 49ers flustered, and then he goes in, Houston comes here, and Stroud is supposed to be the AFC pick for the Super Bowl, blah, blah, and he had him confused, and he didn't know what was going on. It made him look like a schmuck out there, blah, blah, blah. And then you got KOC and what he does and his offensive schemes, and then you got this player and that, and they just go down the line. They picked up this, and they picked it, and they praise every individual thing about the team. But it's like even the media, I think even the media, whether they're fans or not, has a little bit of like that generational trauma. They're like, Vikings are just that team that, they're good, but they're just good enough,
And being here in the heart of Michigan, in the heart of Lion Country, I hear that too. Yeah, but the Vikings are the Vikings. Like they're going to, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay, there is history there, but we've never. And we've said this from the beginning of KOC's era 3 years ago, 2 seasons and 3 games, whatever. There's a different feel as a lifelong Viking fan. I have never felt like this about, in the preseason or during the beginning of the season, about a coach, about a system, about sustainability, all of these things. Like this is, and okay, I get it. You're not a Vikings fan, so you don't understand the history. You just look at the Vikings and say, they're a good team during the playoffs or during the regular season, but they just can't do anything because they're the winningest team without a Super Bowl. Oh, you don't have a Super Bowl. You don't have a Super Bowl. Yeah, we get that. We know. We follow them our whole life. You're not telling us anything. Like the when you try to take shots at us, like, yeah, you've never won a Super Bowl. Yeah, we know. Believe me, we know. You don't have like that doesn't hurt us anymore because we already know that. Tell us something we don't know. Like I don't. Yeah, but I'm loving this. I'm loving all the flowers. I'm glad. And KOC was asked about that in his press conference today. Somebody asked him about how do you keep the team grounded? How do you keep the team keep the team in the moment? And he was saying that he started this preseason as soon as training camp and all this stuff. That like, look, hey, when we go out and we start showing the world who we are, the bandwagons they're gonna jump on, and we have to stay. This is who we are. It doesn't matter who's following us. It doesn't matter who's talking about us. It doesn't matter what the media says. All the people that are jumping on the bandwagon. That's fine. We have to be hungry every single game. And to this point, 3 weeks in, I've seen that hunger in every single game, every single minute of every single game. I saw a stat here today. The Minnesota Vikings are 3-0 and have trailed for a total of 3 minutes, 26 seconds in 3 games.
3 games.
In 3 games. That's 180 minutes of football. We've trailed for 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yep.
I mean,
and I got this sack leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You've got I got to put my glasses back on. Hutchinson from Detroit with 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald the 4th. Will McDonald with the Jets, he's got 5, and then there's a 4-way tie with 4. 2 of those people play for the Vikings.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got 2 of the top 5 sack leaders in the league right now.
Well, we're leading the league in sacks with 15.
Right, overall, but these are individual stats. Yeah, we're leading
16,
overall
16.
in sacks, and then you got let's get Grenaded, and he's got 4. You got Patrick Jones the second. He's got 4. So
and we have a top 5. We have a top 5 quarterback. We talked about that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like by the numbers, by total QBR, this is out of 100. Josh Allen's at 92.6. Derek Carr 81.1. Kyler Murray at 75.6. Brock Purdy at barely above.
Is this rating, quarterback rating?
Yes, total QBR.
He has the most touchdowns, I think.
I don't know about that. I know that
but
he is at top 5. Sam Darnold is at a top 5 quarterback rating with a 73.5. So it's Josh Allen, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, and then Sam Darnold as far as total QBR. Touchdown.
And then people keep saying like, "Oh yeah, but you beat San Francisco without McCaffrey." So we don't have Hawkinson and we don't have Addison. Like, shut up. We're not 100% either. And in that exchange with Chris Carter, like Chris Carter brought that up. He's like, "Listen, the injuries are a part of the game. You can't like that can't be a part of it. Like that happens to every team. I mean, who knows that more than the Vikings last year? Oh my God." Like,
yeah, exactly.
Lost our quarterback, lost our Pro Bowl tight end, lost the best wide receiver in football. Like, you don't have to talk to us about who's missing from the roster. But that's the thing is like, we're going to get those players back eventually. We might actually get Addison back this week. He had limited practice this week. So, I mean, part of me is like, maybe we should rest him. I don't know that I don't want to sound cocky, but I don't know that we need him for Green Bay. When you look at who Green Bay's played, and so it's either their backup, who doesn't have a ton of experience, or it's Jordan Love, who also really doesn't have a ton of experience, although he is pretty good. What we did to Purdy and what we did to Stroud, you don't think Buffalo's defense is going to have their way with either of the quarterbacks that might start with the Packers?
Oh, without a doubt, dude. I mean, it's not even going to be close.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he leads.
One of those quarterbacks actually played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Jordan Love hasn't done shit.
Yeah, no.
The other clown hasn't done shit.
I'm not worried about the Green Bay Packers. And when we beat them and we get a stranglehold on the division, I'm not going to say I'm not going to
say I'm not nervous just because we know how these border battles go.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tougher.
Plenty of years where one team has been vastly better, and it's still, for whatever reason, you can't ever take out the X factor of freakish plays.
Yeah,
that's true. Ball bounces this way or that way, one turnover here, one turnover there. You get behind by 2 touchdowns, it changes what you can do. Blah 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 blah.
And we've said it every single year that the border battle doesn't matter about our record. It's always Packers. I mean, the Packers Vikings is always going to be a close game.
I'm not am I going to be super shocked if Green Bay wins? No, I'll be pissed. Yeah. But in my mind, as far as because I have a little bit of that Florio apprehension in me. We're doing awesome and I love it, but I'll also have that when's the next shoe going to drop kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And this game, and I know we can't go into every game going, this is a true test, but this game is, for me, the only thing that will kind of quiet that toxic inner voice that I have is going to be a dominant win.
Yeah, victory.
Not a 3-point win. Like the way we beat the Niners and the way we beat the Texans, I just don't put the Packers, to use a word about Vikings up to this year, the past doesn't matter. None of that matters. What have they done so far this season and what they've done with the opponents that they've faced? Yeah. It's not equal. The Vikings have done greater things. So I'm treating this game not quite as bad as the Giants, but it should be like the Giants. This should be well in hand.
Yeah, no doubt. To your point a little bit earlier where you said Sam Darnold, he is leading the league with 8 8 touchdowns. And the next is Josh Allen with 7. And then Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield each have 6. Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, they have 5. There's a bunch of 5.
You see people hesitantly going Sam Darnold's in the MVP, or could be. I mean, it's week 3, so you can't really talk MVP yet.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. Like, if the season ended today,
be.
Sam Darnold will win the MVP, which I need Justin Jefferson to get 2,000 yards and win the MVP because I got money on it. But so let's see. I'm trying to see the Green Bay, their schedule, but I'm just seeing their. Okay, there we go. So they beat the Titans last week. The Titans are a terrible team. They beat them 30-14. So they beat them handily.
Which is what they should
Colts.
do.
Yeah, they beat the Colts, who is a terrible team, only 16-10, and they barely and they lost to the Eagles 34-29. So
and that's precisely my point. Like they did to a shitty team what we did to a shitty team with the Giants.
Yeah, but not
even that's what you should. That's what you should do.
But not even to the same degree.
But then when you play a good team, you play the Eagles.
Yeah,
you lost.
Yeah,
and then the other team, which isn't even that great, barely won.
Yeah, you barely won.
I haven't barely won anything against any opponent.
This game, so in my mind, and I would say that in 99% of the majority, other than the 1% of the Packer fans, the 49ers and the Houston Texans are a step above at least than the Packers. So now, like you said, every game is a little bit different. You have to go out there and you have to play on Sunday. Things could be a little off. Bad things happen. You get a little momentum. They're at Lambeau, all this kind of stuff. But as far as just team like on the same level, the Vikings are here and the Packers are down here. Like it's not even really that close. Like we have all the weapons. Now, I will give them this. The Packers have the number 1 rushing attack. So I'm really excited to see B-Flow stop this run, because if they can handle this run and keep it in check, then what do they do? Because the play action pass is not going to be – if we put them in 3rd and long like we have been, and we play from a lead other than 3 minutes and 26 seconds like we have all season, somebody made that good point that the Vikings have been playing from a lead. I think it was Bill Belichick. The Vikings have been playing with a lead basically all season long. And so what can you do with that? You can pin your ears back, Jonathan Grenard and Van Ginkel and Dallas Turner, and you can go after the quarterback because you know they have to pass the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And even on the offensive side, I love that KOC is just putting the foot on their throat, pedal to the middle, like he's not letting up. He's just like, I don't care how many touchdowns there were. We're gonna score another one. Yeah. I'm still gonna let him air it out. You know?
No, there is no letdown on that. I absolutely love that.
He seems to have more of a hunger this year. I think he's truly jazzed up about this team.
I think you're right.
Like
I think you're right. It's just, to me, the relationship between Kirk and KOC was not. It just felt like to me that KOC was constantly. He had to coach him so hard to try to get him to change who he was, because he was check down Kirk. He was the numbers, short passes. Let me get my numbers. Let me do my job. Let me, but he doesn't. He was not a gunslinger. He didn't take any risks because he was all about the stats. You started to see him make a transition in the last couple of years, but KOC was fighting him constantly, and it just seems like he does not have that problem with Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold has the ability. He's never been in the right situation, and so. To me, it just seems like it's just totally freed up KOC. And what a joy and what an actual, like, are you kidding me moment for me as a lifelong Vikings fan to see this is the future. I mean, even if Sam Darnold, and we talked about that, maybe we can talk about that a little bit more. We make a deep run. We go to the Super Bowl. What do we do with Sam Darnold? We got J.J. McCarthy in the wings. Do we keep them both? Does JJ sit for 2 more years? Until the run stops? I don't know, but I do know, we've been preaching from the get-go, is we trust KOC.
Yeah.
So at the end of the season, KOC is going to have to make that decision, and whatever, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we get there. But if he wins, I don't know how you
move on.
I don't know how you move on, because and then I'm looking at, like, call me greedy, but if somehow it pans out and we get the one before we die to the end of this season, like, as amazing a standalone as that would be, when you look at where we are right now, we have a dynasty in the building. I know that sounds like a ridiculous take. That sounds like drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever, but just look at what we have. Yeah, you keep Darnold if you can and let JJ study behind him. He needs a year to actually get some physical reps because he's not getting
the reps. You're right. Exactly.
He definitely needs
like
another
he's
year.
redshirted this year. Yes.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get some physical reps on the practice squad and get, and being out there to learn. And then you find yourself in a Brett Favre to
Aaron Rodgers
scenario. You find yourself in a Drew Bledsoe to the GOAT scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah.
You could arguably say Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. I mean, time will tell if he's a future Hall of Famer or whatever, but he's pretty good. So
it's pretty good. I'll give him that.
We have the building blocks, and this thing, and some people were talking about it with B-Flow. This lawsuit is still out there. I don't think they've made any movement on that. And I think if the organization pays B-Flow enough money, he won't even seek a head coach job. So we can have that level of a DC foreseeable future. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I had that conversation with Jaden this evening, actually. And he was afraid that B-Flow is going to be gone. And I'm like, I don't think so. He did not get one call. The Vikings organization did not get one call about B-Flow in this offseason when they took us from 30th or 31st to what did we end up last year? Like 12th or 14th or something like that. Like above middle of the pack, the top 50%, 40%, whatever in the league. And the organization did not get one call. And 100%, it's the lawsuit. Like they don't want to touch him.
How about this? How about put ourselves in B-Flow's shoes for a minute if we can. We don't know, but let me speculate a little bit. If you, as a defensive coordinator, and you got this lawsuit floating on there, the only thing that would possibly overpower that would probably be a championship. And if you sniff it, you taste it, even this year, he gets so close, that might be his carrot. That might be like, no, I ain't going anywhere. We're winning. Because if I win one, then I'll get to choose where I go.
Yeah.
That's true. If that's what he wants. Because, listen, some people overlook a lawsuit if you're winning Super Bowls. And I think if he continues at the level that we are right now, through this season and nobody figures it out, and that's something I'm going to come back to in a minute, is like somebody's going to want that like money talks, right? Yeah. You've got Super Bowls, money talks. I can look past the lawsuit if you're going to bring a championship to my team, to my town.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm all like this game of chess that is sports, that is football, with the different coordinators and the different coaches. Does B-Flow have enough scheme? And I believe he does, but does he have enough schemes? Does he mix and match it enough? Because they're pouring over tape. And every game is 3 hours more of tape. Every game is 3 hours more of tape. And by the end of the season, will some of these looks not work as good anymore? Will somebody figure out the cheat code to our cheat code? Because it's a constantly moving thing.
Yes.
You know, the reason what he's doing right now is so successful is because nobody's really ever done it this way.
Yeah.
But there's always an innovator somewhere. Yeah. So there's going to be, there's the yin and the yang, right? So you got this mastermind DC where there's an OC somewhere that's going to, I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but somebody's going to come up with something that throws a wrench into that. Now, again, it might happen this season, might not happen for 2 seasons, who knows? But this game is constantly evolving. You can just look at price tags for players. It's like running backs used to be expensive, and now wide receivers are expensive. But now you're kind of seeing this resurgence of running backs again because that's that ebb and flow, right? Yeah. Offenses put so much into this passing game that they kind of sacrifice the run game, and then somebody has a dominant run game. And you can't stop.
Yeah. Now we need a dominant.
Like, oh crap, we got
like Aaron Jones
pull back. Yeah. So and then going home. Right, and then the defense, now they're stacking cornerbacks, and safeties because they gotta fight that threat of these wide receivers. Well, now this is what makes running backs more effective. And And so now, now I need outside linebackers, and now shit like that. So
D-line,
it's constant. It's a
middle linebacker,
constantly evolving game. So I've been having that in my mind this week, thinking about this defense.
I just think that because of the complexity of what he does, and I've seen so many takes on it this week because everybody's talking about Biflo's defense, and he'll have 8 guys up there at the line, and 4 of them drop into coverage, but there is no predictability as to who is going to drop back. So for me, I'm like, how does an OC ever get a handle on that? Because if this look is the same so many times, but then this time these 2 went all the way back and these 2 went to the sides, and then the next time 2 guys went this way and 2 guys went that. I mean, like, they have no idea. So I think that I don't know how they're going to grasp it. I don't know how they're going to get around that. Like you said, there's probably going to be some way somebody's going to figure out, well, if we do this or we do that, maybe the screen pass is more effective. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hope they don't figure it out this year.
Check it out. Like you said, nobody's figured it out. And I don't know that we've ever seen what happened with Brock Purdy at the end of a game where the opposing quarterback comes over and goes, "Your scheme is ridiculous, dude."
I don't know what.
Actually compliments the defensive coordinator.
Like what?
What I was looking at.
I don't know what was going on. Yeah.
But he's also like an acting coach, because that's what some people have been really breaking it down. And you watch film and you look at players' hands and how they're tilted. Like, okay, they look like they're doing this, but you see how his foot is pointed. He's getting ready to move, and he's breaking it down. It's like Harrison is up on the line. He's like, he's coming in for a blitz. Everything about that says he's coming in for a blitz. And as soon as that ball snaps, he beelines it back 20 yards. And now he's just fine. Like, oh, sorry. Now we're in Tampa too.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, exactly.
And then that's where these quarterbacks are getting fits, because it's quarterback's job to get up there and read it. Okay, this guy's going to come, that guy's going to do that. Okay, I know what this is. This is whatever. I'll look for my guy over the middle. Hike, check. I'm like, oh shit, there's people there. There weren't supposed to be people there. Where's that guy going this side? And then he gets blasted from the other side. Wow. So, he's giving people fits, and it's awesome. I mean, I've been saying that with a good enough defense, you don't even need that great of an offense, i.e. Trent Dilfer and the Ravens. Right? That's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Well, I did hear that at somewhere along the line, I think Jeremiah was telling me that he saw a quote or something like that where Biflo said, "You give me 21 points and we'll win these games. You give me 21 points and I'll hold the opposing team to under 21." Here's a couple numbers of the defensive stats just in these last 3 games. Points per game average. Now, these are all the averages. 10 points per game, because we've only given up 30 points combined, and 3 obviously. Total yards per game 310, passing yards per game 239, rushing yards per game 71 is all we're averaging at a defense. Sacks, of course, are 15. The Vikings defense has been very restrictive in the earlier weeks of the season, allowing only 30 points in the first 3 games, which is the second best mark in the league. So I don't know who's number 1, but I guarantee you they did not play the caliber of the 49ers and the Houston Texans. I guarantee you whoever is leading probably played 2 or 3 trash teams, and that's why their defense is held them less than 30 points. So to do that, now, okay, we talked about the Giants. We talked about that. Everybody talked about that ad nauseum. Yeah, they're a terrible team, and we did exactly what we had to do. Beat the 49ers handily to absolutely destroy and embarrass the Houston Texans. What more do you want? What more do you want?
Before that game, all you heard was Stroud, Stroud, blah, 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 Super Bowl, Stroud, Texans, that's a great team, blah, 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 blah. We didn't just eke out a win, which is what I predicted. I thought we were going to win on a kick, and blew them out. Now, 12th man, U.S. Bank Stadium was going mental.
3 offensive penalties in a row. They all 3 false starts in a row.
And the announcers were cooking them, dude.
Are you kidding me? Like, that's insane.
They're like, oh, what are we going to see a third one? And there it is. Like, oh,
dude, I mean, like, they had no idea.
So we can't keep counting on that. I mean, we did.
No.
That did help us out, like, a lot. So I feel like keeping everything equal and honest, like, okay, that's not going to happen to every team. And, we go on the road. Now you look at our schedule. I still see the schedules like, holy shit, like it was tough. But here's what I'll say about our schedule: Green Bay, which could be tough. I hope it's not. Yeah. Then we go to London to play the Jets and Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're throwing travel. That's nobody's home field. Like who knows what's going to happen there? We have a bye. We come back and we play the Rams.
No, Lions.
Was it the Lions? Yeah, Lions, then the Rams. Oh, it's even worse. So then you got Lions, then the Rams. Yeah. So there's 4 games against winning teams so far. Like it's not getting any easier for this. But I'll say this: if we split the next 4 games, we're still looking awesome. We're still looking great. If somehow we actually win those next 4 games, it goes back to the thing with PA going like this. What are you looking at? Oh, I'm just looking for the next loss, and I don't see.
Exactly. I don't see it.
I mean, if we get past the first half of this season, which by far is the toughest of the teams,
by far.
Take out our divisional rivals, dude. I mean, you're looking at
the Jaguars, the Titans,
seed, son.
The Bears, the Cardinals,
Yeah, and I get it's ridiculous to talk seeds in week 3. Like, it's all speculation right now, right? Like, I don't expect us to win all 4 of those games. I just feel like that's it. At the end of the day, these are still professional football teams, and you see it every year. There's a team you're supposed to beat, and it just clicks for them that day, or you make mistakes, or it's a combination of the 2, and you get blown out by a crappy ass team, right? Those games do happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and be like, we're going to storm through. We're going undefeated this year. Like,
it's just not realistic.
It's not realistic. It's just not. There's many a slip twixt a cup and a lip.
I think that this week is going to be, obviously, like I said, it's kind of throw the records out when you go against Green Bay, because it's always been that way. No matter what, if we're good, if we're bad, if they're good, they're bad. It's always a game. Jordan Love is not 100%. Malik Harris, whatever his name is, he's been showing some flashes and stuff like that, but he's a young quarterback. He has no idea can you imagine look what he did to Brock Purdy. Okay, he's a young guy. CJ Stroud, he's a young guy, but they're proven to be winners in this league. And what B-Flow did to them, can you imagine what he's going to do to this Willis if he's in there?
Right.
Jordan Love not at 100%. He takes a couple hits. Is he going to be?
We're not talking to Brock Purdy. We're not talking to CJ Stroud here.
No.
Neither one of those 2 are in that echelon. Sorry,
exactly.
Packer fans, you can hate me all you want, but they're not. And I think the inexperience of Willis is definitely going to hurt him. I mean, unless it helps him in an odd way because he doesn't have the experience to go, oh, that's what this defensive look is. I'm supposed to go here. Maybe his ignorance actually helps him because sometimes that works. Like you're playing poker against a bad player, right? They don't know that they're supposed to lay down, so they keep playing and they hit that stupid river card. You know what I mean? Like sometimes inexperience can bite you in the ass.
Yeah, for
because the way you scheme and the way you design is like this quarterback thinks this is what it is, and I'm going to show him this other look. Well, if the quarterback isn't good enough to know what that defensive scheme is on the surface, you can't really predict what he's going to do when he sees it's not there. You know what I mean? Like, it might bite you in the ass, but
by the time he figures it out, he's going to be on the ground. He's going to be looking.
The
pass rush. Because the thing that these great minds, Belichick and some of these other guys that are breaking down the film, RC, Ryan Clark, and a lot of these, ESPN guys and stuff like that, what they're saying is that with the defense is so complex and so crazy, like pre-snap, the quarterback's looking, okay, I got all these guys up here. Okay, we're going to shift this protection to this side because they're overplaying. Then all of a sudden, nope, those guys are gone. Now it's coming from the left. I shift the protection to the right. And so he has to decide, where am I going to throw this ball? Because, I see purple going that way. I see purple going that way. And then you think 1, 2, 3, boom, you're on the ground. You're not like you have 5, 6, 7 seconds. The defense, the front 4 are getting pressure to where you have 3 seconds to make that decision of, oh no, what happened? I thought I was going to go here, but now all I see is defense. I see defense. I look one, twice, boom, I'm on the ground. Like I'm running for my life.
One guy goes back and hooks all the way around and then hits that gap. Next thing you know, you got ginked.
Yeah, you got ginked. Exactly. I did see this from Vikings territory. The Vikings ranked second in the league in run defense, 71 yards per game, but they have a big test on Sunday because Green Bay is number 1 in rushing offense at 204. So we hold teams to 71 yards. The Green Bay has been rushing an average of 204 yards. There is no way in hell we are going to give up 200 yards to the Green Bay Packers. I promise you that right now.
I wanted to do some more digging, and I ran out of time today. But it was I wanted to actually look up where their opponents ranked in the run so far, because that's going to skew your standings.
Houston. Oh, the Packers. How the defense has. Okay, let's see.
So you got to look at their opponents. Like if they lead the league in rushing, but who have they rushed against?
Well, they played the Titans, which are terrible. The Titans have a terrible defense. There's Vikings. That's not what I want. I want.
So I mean, that's kind of my point. It's like I think we're gonna knock their.
Yeah.
They
played the Eagles. They lost to the Eagles, which that's a good. The Colts, they're terrible, and they barely beat them by 6. They only scored 16 points against the Colts. The Colts have a terrible defense. The Titans, they scored 30, but the Titans are terrible as well. The Titans have a terrible defense too. So, yeah, you're averaging 200 yards.
Believe it. This is the struggle of being a Vikings fan. It's like I want to believe that we're this good. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, but when I look at it, if I remove my emotion and my fandom away from it, you just look at like they're not comparable teams.
No.
The Vikings are so much better.
Yeah, they're just
beat better teams.
Yeah.
There's no reason we shouldn't go in there and quite literally embarrass them. And I know we're covering old stuff and we're going over whatever we can move on.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with this game in particular. This is a homecoming for Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones was not ready to leave the Packers. I think that he is loving. I know for a fact that he is loving being here. But he didn't want to leave. They just didn't want to pay him. That dude is going to go in there and
the fans loved him. The fans loved him, and he loved the fans. He put out a message today, a tweet or whatever. Basically, it's like, I love the fans there. I love everything was great. It didn't work out. They'll always have a G in my heart. Blah blah blah. He's gonna have to bury that G way down deep into his gut. I don't want that G in your heart.
Well, Brett Favre did. Aaron Jones can for sure.
Yeah. But there's a video of him in an interview where he was talking to his mom, and he's like, I was telling her, he's like, Mom, something about this team. He's like, and I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about this team. And he just kept repeating that. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I have a bass fishing tournament this weekend, both days. So I'm gonna be listening to it while I'm fishing, so I won't get to watch it. Yeah, I'll be listening to PA. Hopefully I'm not late to weigh in like I was the last time I was fishing a tournament when we were playing the Packers.
Oh yeah.
Because there's like a few minutes left. I was like, oh, it must be almost 3:00, but the game went long, so it was actually after 3. I was like, oh shit, I'm late. I didn't do very good in that tournament anyway, so like penalties didn't matter. I was like, oh, that's my throwaway for the year. But it just didn't matter. But yeah, let's move on. Let's close out with our picks. What do you?
Well, I actually do think that we're going to go in there and embarrass them because they've never seen a defense like this. And yeah, they're putting stuff on tape, but the stuff that they're putting on tape, it's not like you can scheme against it.
Pull up the line. Last time I heard, we were still underdogs. We were down by 2.
Yeah.
Still? They still have us at -2?
Yes, as of today. Yep.
That's just absurd. But you know what? Play with a chip on our shoulder. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, for sure.
We were home underdogs the last 2 weeks, and look how that fared. So
plus 2.5. So we're -2.5. We're -2.5 on the road, which was what we were at home Last week we were -2.
Yeah,
and look what we did there.
Home underdogs the last 2 games.
And there's going to be a lot of purple in those stands. I mean, there always is in
always is, but now that we're 3-0, they're going to travel for
there's
sure.
There's going to be some Skol chants going on for sure at Lambeau. So no, I think we go in there and we drum them. Aaron Jones probably has 2 touchdowns. JJ, I mean, I don't know if Sam's going to throw for 4 touchdowns again, but I'm going to say 28-10 Vikings. Like it's going to be in hand again. The defense has caused so many turnovers. We're winning the turnover battle. Obviously, we're leading the league in sacks. We have the second best run defense in the league. And that's what they're holding their hat. That's what they're hanging their hat on this year is the run. And so we're going to be able to stop the run. We're going to get them in long, third and long situations, and they're not going to be able to throw the ball. We're going to be over 20 sacks. I mean, we're going to get 4 sacks again for sure. We're going over 20 sacks in 4 games. It's not even. Yeah, they can't compete with us at this level. Not from what I've seen so far. And why would it stop? We're getting weapons back. I think TJ, we talked about that a little bit. I think we talked about it off camera. Jordan Addison is scheduled to play this week. I know you said that, do we really need him? But can you imagine now we get Naylor as the third?
I'm not saying I don't want him, but it's like
that's why I'm putting
I trust KOC, but it's like if you don't think we need him, if you think we're going to soundly beat him without him, maybe rest him 1 more week. Really let that thing heal up. Risk him re-injuring it.
And he might be on a snap count. He might be on a, maybe you only get 15 snaps.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But him and Jefferson on the same field, and then you got Speedy somewhere in there too. Like Speedy's been going off.
And AJ who can catch.
Yeah, and AJ out of the backfield who lines up in the slot sometimes. How do you stop them? So that's the thing that baffles me. And you talked about it too. As how the media, where they don't give us our love, but then when they talk about the position players,
they break it down to positions, and it's like it's nothing but praise.
Who's better? Who is better? Like we have the best wide receiver in football 1-on-1, but we probably have the best duo. And now with Speedy, and you got Powell in there, like. Who's better at the top 3? Like they were saying, Houston. Jeremiah was telling me Houston's got a great, with Diggs and who was their main.
Well, if Addison stays healthy and plays like he did, last season, and
he
then
played like the one because he was the one.
Yeah, he was the one.
He's like a 1B.
If we can have a 1A 1B scenario, and then our other Bs aren't even that bad, we got a 3 deep, 4 deep back again, only way better. Not to throw any shade against Moss or Carter, they're the greats, but Jake Reed was only in a 3 deep scenario because they were that good.
Yeah. Well, now
you have 2 wide receivers that could potentially be as good or close enough to CC and Moss to be in the conversation with 2 also better than average backs or wide receivers that aren't Jake Reed.
Number 3 and number 4,
You got 4 deep, son. Like, what are you going to do? And then Hawkinson comes back. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like, now we got another blocker and another receiving threat. Like,
I think next week, his window opens up to get him back into the practices and stuff like that, like his availability. Like I said before, I feel like he's probably ready to go next week against the Jets, but he won't because of the travel, and he'll play his first game against the Lions. But we forget. I mean, I think that a lot of people have forgot how good TJ Hawkinson is. Like, that dude is a serious, serious weapon. Like,
and it's like, he's good. He's a Pro Bowler. He's probably the best tight end in the league, or was. We'll see what he comes back after his injury. But, like,
I don't know.
And then what effect that has. Like, holy shit. Like, AOC gets to go to he gets to open up a bunch of chapters for his playbook. Like, he just has that much more to go to now. again, because he can catch and he's big, he can block. You know, Sabertooth's gonna go off, dude. You know he's been chomping at the bit.
Oh my goodness!
And then if
he
he
come back against the Lions,
come on, son.
Come on, dude.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. It's over. Here's
where I start getting out of control.
Yeah. Here's where we lose our mind. Here is the biggest factor in all of this, though, and we all held our breath for one play on Sunday.
The kick. Oh yeah,
Sam Darnold goes down. It's over.
Oh, that. Yeah.
It's all over. If Sam Darnold goes down, it's all over. Nick Mullins cannot do what Sam Darnold is doing. If Sam Darnold goes down,
the only saving grace of that is that the defense could still save us a win.
Yeah. Here or there.
Get us enough points to protect.
But we're not going to make a run. We might end up winning. We might end up winning the division barely or whatever. But, knock on wood, Sam Darnold stays healthy. And, I mean, when he went down with that knee, I'm like, no. I got that feeling like, no, this cannot happen because I knew what the backup is. And I'm like, Nick Mullins cannot run this offense. We saw that painstakingly last season.
Yeah, that was
he cannot run this offense. So, to me, all of a sudden, my wheel started spinning like maybe it's time for KOC and Kwesi to start talking about who can we pick up that's a better backup in case Sam Darnold does go down.
Yeah,
because we're trucking, and this train just has to keep going on the track. But Nick Mullins cannot engineer. It can't do it.
He can't be the backup.
He can't do it.
But we're not quite done with Flowers yet because that kicker, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
58 yards. And we got lucky. It hit the upright and bounced in, but that thing hit halfway up that upright at 58 yards. Dude,
it's at 62, 62, 70. I don't know about 70. Mid 60s or low 60s. Do you see KOC's press conference where he says, I wouldn't put it past him that he did that on purpose, that he bounced it in on purpose, that he's that good. He's that good. I'm like, can you imagine? Yeah, I'm gonna kind of pull
watch this.
I'm gonna watch this. Yeah. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird,
glass,
1994. Off the scoreboard, off the bleachers, nothing but that. I mean,
he's calling glass.
Yeah, he's calling bank shot for sure, dude. I don't have any apprehension whatsoever. When you said I think that we're gonna win by a last second field goal, I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like when he steps over the ball, dude, the confidence from me, I'm like, there is no Blair Walsh, there is none of that. It's Gary Anderson NFC Championship game. It's Gary Anderson who never misses pre. Yeah, but
that's the problem. Up until that
kid is young. He's not ancient Gary Anderson, 45 years old or whatever he was at that time.
But that's the curse, though. That was the thing. Like Gary Anderson, up until that miss, hadn't missed for over a season.
Yeah, that's true.
It continued on to the season before last, and then when it mattered absolutely the most, that's when it missed, and that's Vikings.
KOC was asked about that today in his press conference about kickers and how he does that, and he's like, because they brought up previous regimes, or I don't know what the word they used. They were kind of like, didn't have a great relationship with the kicker. Basically, is what I got the gist of it. And KOC is like, dude, I trust this dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like, like I have no question. And I've told him, I know, even if you don't miss, he's like, if I can have, if I my wishes, I don't want you to miss an extra point. I don't want to miss you, have you miss a all season. But if you do, there's no, we're going to bring in other kickers. No. It's fine, dude. Like, it happens. It's okay.
The rest of our offense should be good enough, and our defense definitely good enough to hold that. You're going to take a risk at some of them 58, 60 yarders because you're probably up by a touchdown and a half already. Yeah. And you trust your defense to hold them even if they get the ball back at midfield. We're going to make you punt anyways. It doesn't really matter. So get out there, kid.
Or hold them.
Can you make a 60?
Yeah, of course.
Go do it. Go do it, dude.
He's going to give him a chance. Late, like I could see it at the end of half, at the end of the half or something like that. Yeah. No.
It's like, go try it. Yeah. Hell yeah. Go try it. Defense will hold him. It's fine.
Defense will hold him. It's fine. I got this. B-Flow is like, KOC, go ahead, dude. Run, kick.
I got this.
Yeah. 70-yarder? Yeah, go ahead, dude. Try it. Give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. It's almost like B-Flow is challenging his team. Like, Hey, let's give him half the field. Let's give him half the field. Let's see let's see what we can do. Go ahead. I tell you what. So we're gonna kick into the end zone. Instead of you bringing it out to the 30, just bring it out to the 50. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's make this a little more interesting.
Pride comes for the fall, so I'm trying to keep myself in check a little bit here, but it is as a Vikes fan coming into this season, very apprehensive, especially with everybody putting us at finishing and dead last in our division. Even then, I didn't believe it, but it's like, well, here we are. We're 3-0. We're undefeated.
Yeah.
Going into Green Bay, we'll see what happens. So your score was
28-10.
I'm gonna go 31-17.
Nice. 31. I like 31. That's that 60-yard field goal at the end of the half. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I just don't see how they can.
It's gonna be a sound victory.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sound. They're not gonna be able to run the ball 200 yards on us. I don't care what they're gonna. Their average is gonna go way down after this week.
I'm getting cocky. If we do trail to extend the minutes that we've trailed, it's only because for some reason they score first, and then we're going to score again, and then we don't look back.
That's
it.
If they win the toss and defer, we're going to go. They better not, because we're just going to go down and score, and they're going to be playing from behind from the get-go because our offense is just too good. Their defense is not that great. I mean, they run the ball and they whatever, but their defense.
If we can get another first play turnover, that'd be great, because then we get the ball back at the half. That's like
if they
basically getting the ball to start both halves.
I don't see how we can't, but they got to go out and play the game. You never know, just like I said, we just got to keep hoping that nobody gets hurt, injuries. I think that other skilled players, if somebody were to get hurt, whatever, Jordan Addis is out. We've been balling without him. TJ's been gone. Josh Oliver been balling without him. If Justin were to go down again, pray to whatever you pray to that doesn't happen. Sam Darnold is the key. To me, Sam Darnold is the key. Something happens to him.
Who thought we'd be saying that?
Right, exactly. Yeah, when we just didn't know. But
that was it. It was just now I had no idea. But
now we do.
Now we do. And I did hear one last thing before I close out. I did hear somebody was talking about, and it might have been Belichick, and he's like, everybody except the Jets, I think. Or was it the Panthers? No, I think he said everybody that he's played for except the Jets loved him.
Wanted to keep him. Yeah.
All the head officers are like, no, he's great. He's great. Because they could see what they saw his potential. They saw what he could do, and he just wasn't in the right system. Things just didn't pan out the right way. And so,
he was the number 3 overall pick for a reason.
They got him
we're starting to see him.
I mean, they got him at his most inexperienced. The Jets did. So you can see why, that didn't work out for him. He gained some experience as he moved on. He got to play behind Purdy. I mean,
well, and he talks about that he being in San Francisco last year really, I think, helped him dramatically, because he said he saw how Brock Purdy prepared, and he's like, I thought that I prepared before until I saw how he prepares.
Yeah.
So when you get in a situation, it's like players that played with Michael or played with Kobe. I always come back to basketball because that's more of my sport. But, like Kobe, the stories about Kobe being in the gym at 4 a.m. and working out, and then going to eat breakfast, and then coming back and working out, and guys going after the game to go out to the club and do this. And Kobe goes to the gym and works out. Like, the work ethic was ridiculous, and he was so gifted. So it's the same thing. Tom Brady said, I've seen videos of him where he's talked about he could watch hours and hours and hours of film. That's how he knew exactly what was going on the defense. Can you imagine how easy it was for him when he watched his brain was just filled with hours and countless hours of film, and he knew exactly, I know what they're gonna do. Boom, right there. It's so
it goes back to what we talked about earlier, and we'll end it on this. But that's why if we do finish this season strong, Super Bowl or not, and we make a deep run in the playoffs, I think we absolutely keep Sam Darnold and let JJ study behind him, because pass that information on to JJ, and JJ's got all the building blocks. He looks great, and he looked great in preseason. Now give him that with some experience from in the league, and he does need the physical reps too.
He needs the reps
before he hits the field. So
because you imagine if he was healthy, let's say that this year was next year, in all of these games, he's getting quarters of reps. He's getting the whole fourth quarter. We're winning by 3 touchdowns. Like you're able,
well, and you have that insurance that if Darnold goes down,
yes,
JJ can, if it's not a season-ending injury, it's just a week or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay, JJ can limp us
can
along. We'll survive with him, more than likely, and then Darnold can come back in. But we don't have that. We don't have that fail safe now. So
well, if we're able to wrap up if we're able to chalk up a few more wins, the Packers, the Jets, let's say, whatever, even if it's just the Packers, then let's say we win this week, which we will. That we're 4-0, so we have 13 games left. If we go 500 in those 13 games, we're still at worst 10-7 or 11-6.
That's why these starts are so important. Yeah, that's why these starts are so important.
Exactly. I mean, like it's
every game matters, dude. Like
every game matters. But if we get to 4, 5, 6-0, we could have a terrible month. We could lose 4 straight. I mean, we don't want that momentum. We don't want that, but we could and still end up winning the division because of this start. So
for sure.
Let me ask you this before we go. I know we're over an hour now. What to you constitutes a great season? NFC Championship game, divisional round, like we win a playoff game. If not, let's not say that we get the bye. Let's not say that we get the first round. Like we're the best team in the NFC and we get the first round bye. Let's say that we play, wild card weekend. Like where are you like, that was a great season. We keep Sam. 1 playoff win, 2 playoff wins, NFC Championship game. What in your mind?
Kings of the North, and at least 1 playoff win.
1 playoff win?
Because
I mean, it's going to suck either way. When we lose,
if we don't win the North, that means I won't say the wheels fell off, but that means that Sam Darnold that other people talked about probably showed up.
Yeah.
So if we take that, it's like, okay, if that's how the season shakes out, then there's no real reason to hold on to him.
Yeah.
So then you just lean on.
We didn't win the North.
You just lean on your draft pick, right?
Yeah, we got in as a wild card. And
unless we can retain him for cheap because he didn't, because he didn't do all these great things, we should be able to get him for another short contract, and it may still be in KOC's scheme to have JJ learn behind a veteran. So it's possible that we keep him even because of that, but only at a price tag, at the right price tag. But if we're Kings of the North and we win a playoff game, I don't see how you get rid of him. Yeah. But the thing is, I think if we win the North, if he plays well enough to win the North, we're going deep in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I would tend to agree. I think that's right on. We have to win the North. If we don't win the North and we limp into the playoffs,
there's no real reason to keep him.
There's no reason to keep him because we could do that. I mean, we almost did that with 4 quarterbacks last year.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
We made a run toward the end of the season and almost pulled it off. So,
right.
That thought crossed my mind. I'm just like, where it's going to suck either way. Like and the deeper we go, the harder it's going to hurt. But I don't want to say that if we don't win a Super Bowl, I'm devastated because we never really expected it anyway.
Definitely not an all or nothing situation.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
not at all.
I agree.
No.
Yeah. I don't see how. Yeah, he's going to have to really regress, for me to be like, okay, let's move on from some Sam Darnold. But like I said, it's very early. It's only week 3, but it's very convincing. What we're putting on tape is very convincing all the way around.
It's hard not to buy into this team. Yeah. I mean,
it's super easy for us because we want to.
But it's not easy though. That's the thing. It's not easy because, like I said, there's obviously part to me that's like, I've already said this line a million times at this show, but like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, okay, this can't be happening. We can't possibly be this good. Yeah. But by all metrics, we are that good. Yeah. So maybe it's time. Speak life.
Speak life. You got to speak life into it.
Fans,
exactly.
Maybe we need to stop looking at the past and look forward and just embrace the fact that we're good.
We're good.
And until we're proven that we're not, we're good.
Yeah. We're good. This is what it's like to be a fan of a winning team.
This is what we wanted.
This is all we ever wanted, and we can't even accept it. It's like right in our laps. Here you go. Here's a gift. Your team is good. You're going to do great things. I know. I don't want it. I don't want to open it.
It's going to happen when you're the 7th winningest team in the league without a championship.
Exactly.
So. Yeah. It's just terrible. So, all right, dude. Next week, a big game this week. Can't wait to listen to it and watch the highlights.
Yes.
It's good.
Very good.
Real good. And we will see you next week. Oh, I'll do the horn. You do the see you bye.
See you bye.
And I tell you guys I love you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And that will never change. I will ride with this group until they don't let us play more games.